It has been a difficult job reaching the wreckage of a deadly plane crash in Croatia. Commerce Secretary Ron Brown was on board. Tonight, there is no more hope for survivors.
Also, is the FBI closing in on the Unabomber? Might he even be in custody? They say they think that might be him. We'll have our top stories for you in just a moment, but first some breaking news to tell you about. A series of explosions roars through the Dalles.
The explosions were first reported in a structure halfway between Mosier and the Dalles along the Columbia River. Wasco County firefighters say there were 3 large explosions and many small ones. They've also recovered charred bomb-making literature. We have a crew on the scene, and we will have more information for you on these explosions just as soon as we hear from our crew. And now for our other top stories this evening, the Unabomber's 17-year reign of terror could be over.
This could be the big break the FBI has been waiting for in this case. Take a look at the very first pictures of the man the FBI thinks could be the Unabomber. This video taken just a few moments ago in Montana. Police are taking Ted Kaczynski to the FBI offices in Helena. Now, earlier today, federal agents searched his remote cabin in Lincoln, Montana. Kaczynski once taught at Cal Berkeley. Federal agents have been watching him for weeks after getting a tip from his relatives. They told the FBI Kaczynski might be the Unabomber, whose explosive mailings have killed 3 people and injured many more. People in Lincoln tonight are surprised the search came to their town.
I'm shocked because it happened here, that he's here, and that nobody seems to know anything about it. We usually know most of the people in Lincoln, and we usually know what's going on. But
Ted Kaczynski's neighbors say he's a quiet man, almost a hermit.
But what authorities are asking tonight is what type of person could get away with deadly crimes year after year. Our Leslie Knopp with more on that.
17 years he's eluded authorities. Now investigators say they think they've found the man known only as the Unabomber. A man responsible for a nationwide mail bomb spree that's killed 3 and injured 23. Most recently, the Unabomber targeted a Sacramento timber lobbyist, a victim of a mail bomb. Well, the Unabomber dodged authorities. They were able to get inside his head. FBI investigators devised a personality sketch. He was a killer from afar, an antisocial man. It seems the FBI hit its mark.
A very intelligent person and a person who didn't follow a pattern that anybody could find.
PSU professor Gary Pearlstein is an expert on terrorism. He's not surprised the FBI found its suspect in a remote setting.
He was a loner. By his letters, he was very interested in the environment. And he was living with people who, as we know from the Freeman problem and other situations in remote areas, who don't like government.
Pearlstein thinks locating the Unabomber may have come down to luck. Last year, the FBI made some of the Unabomber's writings public. One hope was that someone would recognize the writing. Turns out someone did, the suspect's family.
When you're doing detective work like this, it's mostly either somebody turns you in or it's luck.
Either way, investigators hope they finally have the man they've waited 17 years to catch. Leslie Knopp, KGW Northwest News Channel 8.
Pearlstein says it is very lucky that Kaczynski's family found some of his early writings that resembled the Unabomber's work and then alerted authorities. If he is the Unabomber, Pearlstein says their help was invaluable.
The other top story we're following tonight, Washington, D.C. is still in shock at this hour. Commerce Secretary and longtime political power broker Ron Brown was on board an Air Force jet that crashed in Croatia today. 24 top American executives were also on board, and tonight it is presumed no one survived the crash. This was Ron Brown just hours before his death at a power plant in Tuzla, Bosnia. He was leading a delegation of American executives exploring business opportunities in this war-ravaged land. Brown also talked to American troops.
As we play a lead role in securing the peace, we also play a lead role in bringing stability and bringing prosperity.
Shortly after, Brown and his entourage took off from Tuzla aboard this Boeing jet. The flight to Dubrovnik was to take less than an hour. The Dubrovnik airport is in the mountains, and the plane approached in heavy rain, poor visibility, and strong winds.
The aircraft was on the instrument approach, was in contact with a tower at the Dubrovnik airport when contact was lost.
The plane slammed into a mountain 2 miles away. Search crews braved the horrible weather to get to the crash site, but all 33 people on board are presumed dead tonight. At Ron Brown's home in Washington, D.C. tonight, well-wishers dropped by to extend their sympathies to the family. A visibly shaken president and Hillary Clinton paid their respects at the Brown home earlier. Later, Mr. Clinton talked about his old friend.
Was always amazed at the way he was continually reaching out, trying to bridge the differences between people, always trying to get the best out of people.
Indeed, Ron Brown's cabinet post was a reward for years of loyal service to Bill Clinton and the Democratic Party. And we might never know exactly what caused that crash. The Air Force says the plane was not equipped with a black box flight data recorder. Commerce Secretary Brown rarely visited Oregon.
He was here, however, last June for President Clinton's economic summit. Today, prominent Portlanders praised Ron Brown.
As a spokesman for trade and a spokesman for business internationally, he's very effective.
He's dynamic, very bright, very articulate, and he helped actually move the Congress into the Democratic majority column as well as the presidency.
And it makes all minorities proud, gives them a voice.
The plane carrying the U.S. trade delegation was a T-43 built by Boeing. The military aircraft was manufactured at Renton's plant back in the early 70s. Only 19 were ever made. They are based on the 737-200 series, but they've been modified quite a bit from the commercial version.
We want to turn back right now to another top story tonight. That is what could be the arrest in Montana of a suspect certainly believed to be by the FBI is the Unabomber.
Jim Foreman is standing by live now in Montana. He's from our sister station in Seattle. Jim, we know they are talking to this man right now. What more can you tell us?
Well, basically, we don't know exactly what Ted Kaczynski is being held on. He was brought here to the county jail from the FBI offices in Helena. He didn't say anything. He looked pretty rugged and pretty ragged, but those who know him say that is not unusual. The federal agents swooped into his home earlier today. We're told they were looking for any signs of bomb-making devices, any kind of evidence that could link him to the Unabomber's writings. There has been one particular typewriter that has been used in many of the bombings, and they were also probably looking for that as well. We should learn a lot more tomorrow when Ted Kaczynski makes his first appearance in court.
Jim Benneman with a question here. So often we see federal agents, especially, very tight-lipped in a case like this. Do you get the impression that they sincerely feel that they've got their man?
You know, that's a tough one. The feds went about this in a way that has really angered the sheriff here in the county that Helena is in. He got no warning that this small army of federal agents were swooping into his area. He's fairly put out by it, says that if there were any problems to be had, his knowing that this was going to happen could have helped stave them off. That's one side of it. Now, the other side is, of course, the federal government says it has a case to protect, and they're going to keep that pretty close to the vest until they have to share it with the judge, who will decide whether or not to hold the suspect, release him, or